Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time. And as promised in our daily financial news, I have an extra special guest this morning. Somebody who's been on the channel, but hasn't been here a little bit. My personal agent in Fresno, California, Michael Hernandez. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good, man. How's it going?
I'm doing well, man. So we got a lot of topics today. Topic number 2 is going to be what I'm doing in my business. Topic number 3 will be what you're doing in your business. But topic number 1 has to be what the heck is going on in Fresno, California, because it is crazy what is going on in Fresno County, California. But before we do that, Michael, remind people how they can get a hold of you, what you do, all of that good stuff.
Awesome, man. Yeah, so I specialize in residential real estate. Very easy to get a hold of. You can call me directly, text me, 559-994-3291.
Excellent, Michael. One more time, what's that number? People need to write that down.
559-994-3291.
And the reason I go to Michael for lots of my stuff is he's obviously a member of the hub, that building I have on Van Ness, but also he's been in Fresno a long time and he knows the area like the back of his hand. So Michael, thank you for all you do for me.
Anytime.
And get ready for your phone to blow up because I imagine a lot of people are going to start texting you. But let's talk about Fresno County.
Absolutely.
Why don't we talk about the numbers as they are today, and then we will get in the old time machine and go back in time. But what is the average sold and average list price in Fresno County today as we get ready to end 2021?
Trend charts for the county, it's pretty crazy. So the sold price is at 411,000. So average price for sale and sold, and then your for sale price is at 530.
So I wanted people to realize. So again, we're looking at Fresno County. This is not Fresno City. So for the folks watching this that don't know the difference, the city of Fresno is what about 500,000, maybe 500
roughly. Yeah. And I think the county breaks 1 million.
Yeah, the county breaks 1 million. So it's about double the size of the city.
Correct.
Is it also fair to assume that the city, generally speaking, has higher price points than the county, right? Because you're getting pretty rural, or maybe there's more acreage. I don't know. I'm just.
I would venture to say that the city, so Fresno Clovis as a whole is probably going to be a lot more pricier. Clovis is definitely going to be more pricier.
Yeah, Clovis, for the folks who don't know, that's the Beverly Hills of Fresno, right? That's where you go when you've made it. You head to Clovis. So again, 411. I want to put this in context. So when I started buying way back in 2000, I think the median price was probably like 140, 160, something like that. Now, that's 20 years ago, but you rewind the clock. If you go back to January 2019, Michael, that's why January, because that's before the pandemic, right? Pandemic, February, March. So tell me what the number was 2019.
So 2019, January, average price for sold and for sale for sold was 284.
Oh my goodness.
And then for your listings for sale was at 376.
So again, wow, I got to do the math on that.
Yeah, that was and again, just for viewers, we're talking pre-pandemic. Nobody knew what was going to happen. Nobody expected it to happen. Super normal market.
Wow. So I'm just looking at the sold, right? 284 to 411. That's a 45% jump.
Yep.
January 19, 2021.
In about 24 months.
Yeah. Damn.
24 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
So let's talk about it. So why does that happen, right? Well, first and foremost, if you don't know, for the folks watching, Fresno or the Central Valley in general, including the Inland Empire, which is SoCal's version of Fresno, if you will, it's just cheaper, right? You get more for your dollar, right?
Correct.
You and I, one of the deals we tried to do here in the last month or so is I tried to buy a house on Lake Van Ness, right? Lake Van Ness is like, would you call that
like you really made it?
Yeah, that's like gated community. Yeah, gated. Every house is, I don't know, 4,000 plus square feet on a lake, lakefront. You have a dock, right? And just for comparison, I think it was listed like at 1.45 million.
Yeah,
that is less than the condo that I am currently talking to you from, like a little 1,300 square foot tri-level condo, right? So again, what I'm saying is Fresno, you get much more bang for the buck.
Right.
Clearly.
Right.
right? The other thing, so I think what happened with the pandemic is a lot of people did this work from home. I don't know about your business, but I know a lot of real estate agents in Fresno, and a lot of them were getting Bay Area and LA. People that are like, I'm just going to move to Fresno. It's cheaper. It's cheaper and frankly a better quality of life, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think generally speaking, man, me being born and raised here and kind of seeing the changes and living in Visalia for a while and then coming back and seeing new streets and seeing new subdivisions and seeing so much growth in literally about 6 or 7 years.
Yeah.
It's just an influx, man. And then the pandemic really just pushed our prices through the roof.
Yeah. And that really is, it's a supply and demand equation, right?
1,000%. Yeah.
Fresno, right? The Census Bureau just came out and just bashed California, right? California lost 276, second year in a row, 45% less people come into San Francisco, right? It bashed the expensive areas, but Fresno, right? This little panacea inside of California grew. Yeah. Fresno County grew. I think it was 87,000 or 67,000 folks, something like that. So wow. Again, Fresno is this little area that's growing because it's cheaper, better quality of life. You don't have to drive 90 minutes to get anywhere. You still get land, right? It's not just, like I'm talking to you from a condo where, we don't have any land or yards. So again, prices are up 45% from 19. Crazy. 411.
That's crazy.
411. Oh man, that's amazing. And again, I've been buying there for 20 some odd years. So that's amazing. So let's talk about 2021 kind of from an inventory perspective. Again, I look every day, as you know. This is my feeling about 2021. Now we'll talk about inventory. Inventory was generally trickling down. Basically, the first half of the year, demand outpaced supply, in my opinion, right? Because you and I would talk about junk, and junk was selling for retail, and I can't compete when that happens. It's crazy. Yeah. For me, that was the first half of the year. Then something changed late summer, maybe July, maybe August, where it looked like listings were starting to outpace supply. And then lo and behold, we come into Thanksgiving. I'm trying to do my deal of the decade. You and I write up 10, 12 offers. I think we get 2 counters. But what I think happened in the Thanksgiving to end of year where we are now is more of a normal market. What do I mean by that is we didn't get the listing surge that I thought we would from people concerned about taxes and things. Because generally speaking, people don't want to list their homes Thanksgiving to New Year's. They don't want people, bouncing around. They don't want to, Christmas, holiday, all that stuff. So that's what I think. But you have the numbers in front of you. What did you see?
Yeah. So for sales, in as a whole, Fresno County again. Yeah. To begin the year, to open the year in January of 21. Yeah. The for sale listings was at 548, which historically it may or may not sound like a lot. It's super low. That's super low.
Yeah, I mean, again, that's active listings. 548.
Active listings, correct. Yeah. They're on market during that month.
I've looked at this over the years, not nearly as much as you, but it's very normal. Again, normal market to be over 1,000.
Easy.
Yeah.
1 in 2,000.
Yeah. Like 14 to 1,600. So we were a third of normal in January.
Yep. And so the solds for that month was 639. And the pending was right about that 639 as well.
So again, we had 548 active listings, but you had 639 solds, which means you're peeling off.
Buyers are buying those excess homes that were sitting there for 30, 60, 90.
Overpriced, junk.
Overpriced. Yeah.
It's got a garage that has to be torn down.
Essentially, buyers are buying just to buy at that point. That's what it's kind of showing us, man.
Okay. All right. So that's January. Yep.
That's January. Right about mid-year. June is interesting. So June has a discrepancy for sale property at 737.
All right.
Solds at 906. So that's almost a 200 point difference. Yeah.
So from January to June, listings go up. Okay, great. Makes sense. But also sales
just boomed. That was the most sales for the whole year so far.
And that was the date. Wow. Okay. All right.
906.
So where are we now?
So that was the peak. And then in as of last month, we had 734 properties for sale. We had 791 that actually sold and closed. So the
last month would be November.
November, yeah. Okay. So you have about roughly about a 50-point gap. But again, the trend stayed the way that it was. Where
what month had the most active listings?
Which month?
Yeah.
It was in November.
Okay.
No, October at 843.
843. Yeah. So that's what I was seeing, right? Because again, I got a little excited kind of in October. Wow, I'm starting seeing more listings, more stuff hitting. And then do you know where we are today? Do you have that data? If you don't, it's okay.
I pulled up Fresno County as a whole.
Yeah.
Earlier pre-interview, and I think it was 400 and that was in the system was like 469 or something like that.
All right. So we've definitely, like I said,
it's always going to dip in December for sure.
Which is kind of good. We may be getting back to a normal market. A normal market is slower listings Thanksgiving to the end of the year.
Yes.
It just is.
Yeah.
But that means you and I should know maybe middle of January, right? If we see if folks don't know if we are, but if we get into a normal market, you would expect listings to go up by January 15th. Is that a fair assumption?
Roughly. Yeah. Roughly.
Yeah. Sometime in January, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's something we can look forward to. And again, folks, you should be doing all this stuff for your buy box, your area, right? Michael and I are talking about this for us, but realize we share this with you because if you're in my course or programs, this is the kind of data that you should know for your buy box. And then go ahead.
Oh, and then again, just for kind of the historical, the normalcy factor. And we discussed this pre-interview, but January 2019. So before anything happened, before anybody knew that, the world was going to go crazy, this is normal for our market. For sales, 2,491 active for sale properties, January 2019. Properties that actually closed, 696.
I want people to hear. Yeah, go ahead.
Properties that were pending, 834. That's normal, guys.
I want people to hear that one more time.
Yeah, so we had 2,491 for Fresno County, population roughly about 1 million. Fresno County, not city, sold 696. Properties that were pending, 834. And that's exactly what the graph should always look like.
Yeah, certainly. It shouldn't be the other way. You shouldn't be selling more than you have listed.
Correct. Yeah, man.
So again, I want people to, this last 2 years has been again, I want people that are trying to get deals done today to hear this. The last 2 years have been the hardest time in my career to get deals done. Why? Because in a normal market, you have 2,400 listings and you have, call it 700 sales. You have time to breathe. Days on market aren't 8 seconds, right? They're like 45 days or 60 days. Very normal. You fast forward to the market we're in now, you got 400 and whatever, 500 listings and 700 sales. This is the county. We're not talking a zip code or a block here.
Exactly, man. The numbers get even, like just to throw kind of general reference. I have a client right now shopping 300,000 roughly west of the 99 in the Central District.
Yeah,
I'm talking about the entire west side of the 99 in Fresno alone, the city. At 300,000, I usually check for them about 320, 318, three homes on market active that fit their 3-bedroom need for essentially the entire west side of the 99. It's freaking nuts, man.
Yeah. So let's talk about this now heading into next year. You and I don't have a crystal ball. We have no idea what's going on, but it's fair to say that demand is still pretty strong.
I think demand is through the roof.
Okay.
And we've all heard the news. I don't really see how increasing interest rates is going to change anything for anybody, really.
It does. This is what people don't realize, right?
I just don't think it makes a lot of sense, man.
If the interest rates tick up slowly, it actually pulls demand off because your buyers get concerned about missing out.
Correct.
Right. If interest rates shot up a full point or a 1.5, that would cause the market to stop, right? Because that's a huge jump. But yeah, you do this little trick up, it actually pulls demand up. People that are calling for a crash because of a 0.1% move in interest rate.
It's just not. It's not feasible, man. I don't see it. It's not feasible.
Even if you, again, the beauty of supply and demand is demand is not only the interest in buying, but the capability. So even if interest rates went up half a point, what happens? Well, some demand gets carved off, right? Let's say demand is 10, but if supply is 4, and then rates go up and suddenly demand is 6, but supply is still 4, you still have raising prices because you still have demand outpacing supply. It's kind of craziness.
Yeah.
And then if we kind of flip the script, a lot of this stuff has been kind of generic and really owner oriented, but we can talk about investors, right? Investors have found Fresno. They are really looking for those 1950 builds, even people buying 3-1s, which I always get the LA and Bay Area buyers going, who would want a 1 bath? I'm like, y'all are spoiled, right? I grew up in a 1 bath house. What are you talking about? So again, a lot of, the cheap stuff, even 2-bedroom 1 baths that used to go for under $100,000 all day long.
Yeah.
Now we're almost, 150 to 200 grand. It's crazy.
Yeah. And they're closing on market at like 220, 230. It's crazy, man.
Yeah. And then the rents, again, people need to realize this. Again, values move first, rents move second. I have never seen single family rents in Fresno explode like they have. I know people are up 30 to 40% tenant to tenant. It's just crazy times. What do you want to talk about as far as just the general market of Fresno going into 2022?
I think it's still going to be strong. I think it's going to be, again, historically one of the strongest in the nation. As hopefully we get more inventory as far as builders.
Yeah, knock on wood, we need some more inventory.
Yeah, and I think if builders can continue to build and the assumption the city works with, easing the process. Some cities are tougher. Some cities actually kind of get it. And so I think, if we get more of that, we can kind of have that trickle effect.
Where do the new builds start? I haven't looked. Again, new builds generally don't cash flow, so I don't look at them. But if you were going to buy a new build home, are you talking kind of the low end at like 350 to 380, or where are they today?
No, I don't even think there's much in the 300s, man.
So it's in the 4s now.
Light 4s, yeah. Or at the very, very top end, 390-ish.
So let's say 400. So new 400. Builds, man, I remember when you go to Fresno and buy something in the low 2s.
Yeah, man. I remember, when I got into college, we were driving to my dad's ranch, and I think it was like Lennar or somebody, man. They just had broke a track west of the 99. We drove by it all the time, man. And it was like 89,000. Then it went to 95,000, then 99,000, then it broke 100. And we're talking, this is 99, 2000.
Wow.
But yeah, man, now it's like, if you can get something and you're on the waiting list and, you're at the mercy of the builder, but you're talking, 390 plus easy all day long, man.
Yeah. So as we wrap up this summary of my buy box, my area, my agent in Fresno, California, the big numbers for me is a normal market. Again, going back to January 2019, active listings for the county of Fresno, 2491. Active listings today as we close out 2021 under 500. Roughly. Yeah. It's very hard to see how a crash or a collapse or even really a slowdown happens when you have it's still a very supply demand imbalance. Fair to say?
1,000%. Yeah.
Very cool, Michael. Thank you for pulling this data for me. We will talk in track 2 about my portfolio and business, track 3 about yours. But one more time, if somebody wants to reach out to you and start looking in Fresno, what's the phone number? 559-994-3291. Again, that's 994-3291. Very cool, man. Thanks again.
No problem.